Other interesting cultural news, you have Star Wars new show The Acolyte getting a great score. Well, great in terms of, well, it's 84%. Well, that's by the professionals, but the consumer score is 23%, which, yeah, that's also known as terrible. Now, Star Wars Acolyte, which is the creators of this TV show, or I guess streaming show, they probably say it's the gayest Star Wars ever, and yeah, the show has like one white guy and he's a prisoner. Everyone else is every other race. And the plot is allegedly there. We'll show like a 1 minute little clip of it that kind of, I think, summarizes it perfectly. But yeah, let's just say in terms of public reception, overall, again, maybe in San Francisco they love it. Overall, public is saying no to the dark side of the Force, whatever type of metaphor you prefer. Now, there's good old Rotten Tomatoes, and again, as usual, they get a high rating from the quote-unquote professionals, who again are usually also paid by these companies as well. But the average audience score is 23%, which is abysmal to say the least. Here, I wonder if I forget if they have comments down here. Got Acolytes on Disney Plus. Now, went viral on X Twitter. It says, "quote and what is it? Acolyte? I don't want to say F- for marketing, but yeah, that's a weird name. Almost as weird as something like topping." Well, wait, I partially digress. But in all seriousness, they say, "quote This is X Twitter. Acolyte Episode 3 flops, fans outraged. The third episode of the Star Wars series, The Acolyte, has received overwhelming negative feedback from fans and critics. The episode has been criticized for poor writing, acting, and perceived lack of continuity with the broader Star Wars universe. Some viewers have expressed disappointment and frustration, suggesting that Disney has ruined Star Wars franchise. The episode has been described as the worst in the series and the worst in Star Wars history, with particular criticism at the writing, character development, and attempts to retcon established lore, rather. Which, yeah. And here's a little clip of it by Eel. This is from Eel. I think it's both from Ian Miles Strong, actually. About 23 seconds and 21 seconds. But, oh, this is interesting. Steph Annie says, "This thick-necked bitch just ruined Star Wars for anyone who had a little bit of hope left in the franchise." Ooh, Jesus. It's almost like Quentin Tarantino put on a wig. I got 30,000 likes. And she's the one who says, sorry, yeah. Instead of saying this is a brilliant story with great character development, eloquence, it's going to, all flow into the Star Wars magical universe. She said, "Oh yeah, it's the gayest thing ever. I think R2D2 is, and what, R2D2 is a lesbian." It sounds like a parody when you say it out loud. Scrolling down more and more. Here. It's Gundams and Star Wars is relentless mediocrity at this point, getting 1.3 thousand likes. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Robin says, "I just watched it last night. It's worse than you know. I predicted a lot of hate watchers for episode 3, Star Wars, The Acolyte, and huge drop off." It says, "The Acolyte, just two strong females using the Force to make a child." Getting 24,000 likes for that comment. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. How does she still have a job? Jesus. I mean, that's a great example of failing up your whole career. And, I mean, Indiana Jones lost $400 million under her ineptitudes of leading the company. Yeah. And of course, South Park had that brilliant documentary where, again, Catherine Kennedy, her formula for every show is just put chick in it and make it gay. I got 2,000 likes. Let's watch this little preview of it, actually. Which, again, this is from Ian Miles Strong. He says, "Star Wars has become completely retarded." And it almost looks like, I almost thought this was like a Harry Potter ripoff or something. So you have, what is this, an African-American lady, and then standing next to some type of alien, and there's a couple of people in cloaks, and it's like 28 seconds of misery, but we'll endure it together.
Power of one.
The power of one.
The power of two. The power.
That's incredible. I didn't think they were intelligent enough to count in terms of the character development. I'm actually impressed. They can count to 2. They have modicum intelligence. I didn't see that coming. So, like a shitty musical.
Power of one.
No, they couldn't get to 3. That was above their pay grade. Their intellect. I praise them too much. They can only get to 2. So a bunch of ladies standing around counting from 1 to 2.
The power of many.
Oh, we got many. Worshipping, what is it? The sun? A bunch of ladies dance. They're saying the power. again, what does that have to do with Star Wars? There's no, I mean, even rudimentary speaking, like, it's almost inconceivably bad. There's nothing in this clip would make you think Star Wars. Maybe a magical wizard world? Or like a dancing documentary? It's Star Wars is the simplest thing to make. All you need is give character a lightsaber, make them stronger over time. That's it. I mean, even The Force Awakens was roasted because, what was it? You had the girl power where you had the one protagonist. Was it I forgot his name, but the main actor who plays Darth Vader. I mean, he spent his whole life training, learning the power of the Force and all that stuff, and yet here's the little girl that comes around, and she's just magically better at the Force just off the bat with no training. And that made fans irate enough with the lack of intellect, which there's very few. There's the Star Wars storylines in general, but it's devolved where just random crap. And it's got 261,000 views and 7.1 thousand likes. Now you have Burt Macklin having South Park, Eric Cartman saying, put a chick in it, make it more lame, getting 681 likes. Ian Miles Chong says every single time. Craig Chamberlain says, quote, Star Wars has been bad since Lucas let them go. My recommendation for Star Wars fans is to abandon the movie and television show franchises, dive headfirst into the book series, such as Heir to the Empire and Throne. The audiobooks of those are quite good as well, quote. Got 309 likes. Get Off My Lawn says, leave it to Disney to ruin Star Wars, getting 151 likes. And JT says, this is what happens when you give power to talentless people who think bright green hair dye makes an expression of itself, getting 483 likes. Also, the gal heading this project was the assistant to Harvey Weinstein, apparently. Interesting choice, Disney. Almighty says, Disney loves burning money. Says the Disney Star Wars writer's room. And just a bunch of ladies and, I guess, actually two guys all cackling around the burning table of money, getting 46 likes. Which, yeah, they seem to like losing money lately because it's mostly what they do. Like Spicer says, Disney is having trouble with originality. At this point, they're just retelling stories through a woke lens and calling it groundbreaking and new. In the process, they have destroyed intellectual property and future revenue, getting 65 likes. See. Reddit Live says Disney is really leaning into the noble savage tribal mysticism at this one, getting 53 likes. Chris Farting Swirl says, I thought this was Hocus Pocus, getting 29 likes. Let's see. Kevin B says it's not Star Wars anymore, it's something quite different now, getting 88 likes. Let's see here. Oh, it's only about only about a minute long, but I think it's a good summary of these. So Carrie says, yeah, we knew in advance it'd be shit. Matt Walsh says, here's a feminist director of the next Star Wars film saying her goal is to make men uncomfortable. The movie is destined to be Disney's biggest flop yet.
What is the balance of activating a force?
And this is apparently a clip from something called Women in the World. Or Women in, what is this? Women in World? Yeah, Women in World. Ironically, by people who probably can't define what a woman is, but nevertheless.
Force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure. And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men.
I mean, visually speaking, she absolutely does. She doesn't need to try any further than that. Interesting enough, I don't see any reinforced structure under that chair she's sitting in. Probably a safety hazard in the making. I don't know who's in charge of that set.
Uncomfortable. Not you, just
Not
you.
Point taken, point taken.
But, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize
We can't possibly miss you. That's not going to be an issue for you.
that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have.
I would love to have a male leader say the exact same thing and flip it. You know how quickly you'd be ousted by modern society if a male director said his goal is to make women feel uncomfortable?
Difficult conversations that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection, and then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
Mentally evacuated, but got 27 likes. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Maria Isabella has a meme of the Star Wars where you have Darth Vader talking to Lando Calrissian, and Disney has the Star Wars chess piece, or the Darth Vader chess piece, has the trans flag instead of the computer. And it says, "I'm altering Star Wars. Pray I don't alter it any further." Getting 72 likes, and they will make it worse and worse and worse. Scrolling down, you have Noel Zun saying Woke Disney, getting 93 likes. Let's see. We rushed it so many times. Might as well play this clip of Cartman.
Is there a problem, people?
No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
Yes, Miss Kennedy, some of the execs are just expressing that maybe...
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her name it gay! Put a diverse woman in it, make it gay!
But, Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck baby dear, put a chick in it, make her gay!
Linguine and clam sauce.
Excuse me, I believe I asked you to put a chick in this and make her gay?
Yes, the chef was a little confused what you meant by that.
It means put a chick in the linguine and make her fucking gay!
I mean, I don't know how Kathleen Kennedy has had her jobs replaced just by AI at this point. Because again, she does the same thing for everything she touches. She just has that same formula. And I don't know what Bob Iger's smoking, but they keep losing money on everything she touches. Like, Disney used to print money for a living. Disney used to basically have a license to print money out of thin air. They'd make works of art that everyone loved and appreciated. It wasn't at all controversial. It was family friendly. It had these rare things that are lost upon modern culture, such as morals and values. And they had a movie called The Bare Necessities. That was a whole thing talking about, you don't really need. Talks about quite literally your bare necessities. That was famous, and it was talking. Was it Baloo talking to the kid in the forest about that? Now, unfortunately, nowadays, if Disney were to make a new movie called The Bear, with a song called The Bare Necessities, the bear would probably be a prideful man and not an actual animal bear, and the lesson and moral would be, well, non-existent. But I'm not too surprised the Star Wars just crashed and burned. And again, they're probably getting a new audience. I mean, overall, they're losing money. They're probably growing a new audience, especially in San Francisco, because, again, there are people who love this stuff. Unfortunately for Disney, the volume of those consumers seems to be nowhere near the amount needed to actually, make a profit. So what really the question is, at what point does Kathleen Kennedy actually get fired for her business ineptitudes? And will Disney make a profit on media this year? Now, last year, they did make a profit overall thanks to the parks. But Disney they lost about $2 billion on media last year. Now, granted, that was just on the films and the movies. They also lost money in the streaming, which the streaming platform will probably gain profitability this year. But at what point do they get a better leader? I mean, conceivably, anyone could be doing a better job than Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, the bar is that low. I mean, I have a couple of friends who worship the Star Wars. They love the lightsabers, the Chewbacca's, and the planes and stuff. And they hate what's going on. So anecdotally speaking, even my friends who are huge, even I have friends who will watch Star Wars no matter what. They'll watch it no matter who's starring it, where the story is. Even the diehard Star Wars friends I have, even they are disgusted. Now, I suspect some of them will still hate watch it just because. And I can't but wonder, will Kathleen Kennedy ever be fired? Are you a fan of her work? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.